All right, guys, welcome to today's very special live workshop, the Product Packaging Power Up. This is Greg from Grommet, and I am really excited you guys are here today, whether you're watching on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or X, wherever you guys are watching today. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to bring in our special guest in just a second. But as you guys are jumping on, my favorite part is to see who is here. I see some of you guys jumping in. So jump into the comments wherever you are. And just let me know who you are and what your brand or what your product is. That helps both Kelly and I know who's in our audience so we can help theme our answers and everything towards you. Guys, this live workshop is all about you guys today. And so, while we have a bunch of samples that we're going to be sharing and doing some breakdowns, we really want to tailor it to you guys and your products. So ask your questions, engage as much as possible. And also just know, as you comment, as you guys engage in the chat, that shows this to even more and more people, which is super fun. So make sure you guys are saying hello as you guys come in. And I'm going to bring in our guest expert for the day. It is Kelly Kemple. Kelly, thanks so much for being here with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Greg. I am super excited to chat all things packaging and go through all of these fun samples that you guys shared with me.
I know. I'm so excited. We have some faves that I've seen before on Grommet Lives, some brand new products that we haven't had before. It's going to be really fun. I know you and we nerded out. I don't know. It's been a while now. It's probably almost a year ago that we talked about packaging and stuff, and I had a blast. And I knew I had to bring you back in front of more Grommet brands. We got Skip from Stash Logics. We got Marsha. We've got Daria. Really, really fun, exciting group that we have on here today. We got Chris. Hello, how is it going? We got Rana from Lunescent, her touch-free applicator. So brands are starting to jump in, and make sure you guys are saying hello if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, if you're on LinkedIn. Love to know who is here. Kelly, as we jump in today and start yapping, give us a little bit of your background and context, because you've been in the packaging world both from the retail side, extensive background there, and being, on the merchandiser and the store side. Now you're helping, new merchants and D2C brands. Just kind of walk us through a little bit of your background as we kick off here today.
Sure. Yeah. So I started my career as a packaging designer working in-house for retail. First, I was at Dick's Sporting Goods, where I worked on brand identities and packaging design and marketing for products in the golf space and fitness, camping, hunting, all sorts of water tubes, anything that was kind of, sold in that Dick's Sporting Goods world. And after about 8 years, I made the jump to Kohl's. So I was working in-house for Kohl's, doing the same thing, leading the team, doing the brand identity and packaging for all of the private brands at Kohl's, which for that department store, it's 50% of the store. So I've done everything from home goods and cookware and candles and soap and apparel. But I love taking that brand identity design, taking that story of the product and really distilling it down into packaging that stands out and tells a product story. And so about 4 years ago, I made that leap from working in-house for those retailers to starting my own design business, working with new up-and-coming innovative product business owners, like a lot of the products that you see on the Grommet today. So I personally think that packaging is one of the best marketing tools for product brands. It really tells your story. It gets your brand out there, and it's one of those first physical experiences somebody has with your product. So spending a little bit of time on that, we can really help your product to stand out and connect with more people. So that's what I love about packaging.
I love that. We got a bunch more people jumping in, and from Gildan Tree, and Sam is jumping on as we jump in live today. Make sure you guys say hello. Kelly and I would love to know who is here and who's hanging out with us. So I wrote an email today to Grommet brands to get them here. And I got more responses from this email than any other email I've written in a long time. And it had to do with a survey that we sent to shoppers. And it was hey, what do you think of our products? We didn't get any emails that responses in the survey back saying I hate the product. What we got back was, I felt like this product was cheap because of the packaging. I
Oh,
couldn't give this product as a gift because of the packaging. It felt like it was drop shipped. I felt like you just threw this in a box. And it was crazy because we probably had like 15, 20 responses in that realm. And it had nothing to do with the product didn't work or the product didn't do what you were telling me to do. It was all in this kind of like first impression of a
mhm.
product. And when I do Grommet Live, I do this every Wednesday night with Marcy McKenna. Amazing show. You guys should all watch it, where we do live shopping. Before we go live, I'm like, man, I didn't think this product was going to be cool because she just sent it in a box and it just came in like there was no instructions, there was no like I didn't know if it was branded, like I couldn't tell. And in a world where you have TikTok shops, you have Temu, you have all of these internet marketers out there, selling whether it's dropship product or print on demand, like I think packaging matters so much because it creates a feeling with your shopper and you only have one shot at a first impression. We've heard that forever,
Yeah.
whether you're going on a first date with someone or, your first brand experience. And so to me, packaging is about so much more than a pretty box or whatever it is. Like it's that feeling that someone has when they think about your brand. And it's wild that Grommet shoppers, that's what they cared about, right? And it was
Mhm.
just like, especially now we're going into Q4, it's gift giving season. Would
Yes.
you be happy to give this as a gift to somebody, or would you be a little embarrassed about that? So, anyway, just wanted to use that as like context, Kelly, as we kind of go today, as just like how important packaging really is.
Oh, totally. Like I totally agree. It's because it is that first impression. It can increase your value perception of your product. And, what's so interesting is that, I think there's been this kind of misconception in like the e-commerce and the D2C world for a while that like the packaging is not as marketing forward because somebody's buying the product and then they're getting it. So like you don't, there's this misconception that like we don't need to design out the packaging because they're not shopping because of the packaging, but that packaging totally colors that first impression, that first experience with the product. And just hearing you said you got that comment that somebody felt like they couldn't give the product as a gift because the packaging didn't really reflect the quality. Like it's so important to that perception, to somebody recommending your product when it's an e-commerce product, somebody knowing how to use your product. There's so many ways that the packaging can add to that experience.
Yeah, love that. So with all of that said, we just got Mindy from Wag Around Town. We got Megan. We'll be talking about her product in just a little bit. So lots and lots of people joining us here today. You want to just dig right in
Yeah,
and
let's
jump
do it.
into our first product? And so we kind of have this in two different ways, right? So Kelly and I were both sent all the products that we're going to be sharing with you guys here today. I have all of mine still in like the packaging because I want to get really like that first consumer impression. Kelly, you've opened all of yours because you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know if these are real Amazon packages or gift like
I had people sending me other samples throughout the week, so I had to kind of sort them out.
which is all good and awesome. So, and you've gotten a little bit of time to play with
Mhm.
them, which I think is great as well. So, is there a particular one that you want to start with?
No, let's make it a surprise. Like whichever one you open first. Let's do
Let's
it.
make it a surprise. So I'm going to grab this first one. So I have it in the packaging here. I know what this product is because we just had them on Grommet Live. I really like this product.
Mhm.
And so this is, and I'm going to open it here, pulling it out. So this is how it comes in the mail, right? So it's a kind of a flat pack, which is good
Mhm.
for shipping. Very good for economical. It's got the bubble wrap, which is really nice to keep it nice and safe. And this is Batterix.
Yes.
Which is a really, really cool product. So this isn't a live shopping show, so I'm not going to tell you all about the product, but it's a one-time single-use charger for an electronic, right? So mostly for like a phone or an iPad. I'm a huge fan of this product. I have a 10-pack, and we have them like in all three of my kids. They have one of these in their backpack. So if they're on the bus and their phone dies, I have one in my truck. My wife has one in her car. So we have them all over for like those emergency situations. So great product.
Mhm.
But we're not here to talk about the product, even though it is great. We're here to talk about the packaging. And I actually think these guys have done a pretty good job with the packaging. Obviously, I want to hear your expert take, but I love, just really simple stuff on the back, like showing you step by step. Here's how to use it. Here's where to put it. There's a QR code on the back, which I have become a huge fan of. And I think it's very economical, the packaging. I don't think there's a lot of wasted space in this. And then also, just to let you guys know, we have a ride along little card that it came with. And then obviously the packing slip, so you know what you ordered here. So these are kind of the 3 pieces that came in the package. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to turn it over to Kelly, and I want to hear your first impressions of the Batterix.
Okay. So my first impressions, I opened this up, I pulled this out. Now, I was not familiar with the product, Greg, like you were familiar with it. And so I pulled it out and I was like, okay, the graphics are really strong. I can tell by the name and the brand name and then the name of the product, Power Card, that this is going to power one of my devices. And then that visual also shows me that. So I love that there's an attention grabbing visual that reinforces the main benefit of the product. And then I agree with you. I love the package type. I love the little pouch. I can see how something like this could be in a PDQ, like a display, like a countertop display, making this a really great grab and go impulse item. But after I read a little bit more about this product, like read more of the front and the back, I think that there's an opportunity to improve the front of pack message for this. Not redesign it, but adapt the product name a little bit and then a little bit of the feature call outs over here, because me not being familiar with the product, I thought this was like a little mini power bank, like a multi-use power bank, but it's not. It's a one-time use power bank, which is like really great for emergencies. I'm a big outdoors person. Like we camp like most weekends during the summer. I could totally see this being an REI as an emergency power card. I think just adding one word to that product name, either emergency or one-time use power, or something single use power card, would get the message across quicker that this isn't rechargeable and that this is more about like when you're stuck, when you're somewhere you can't charge something, and it's most important for you to be able to use your phone. Because that's actually like, there's this long statement right underneath the product name: instant backup power for your smartphone when you need it most, stress less. That's a great statement. I would see if you can cut that statement in half to get there quicker and then make it bigger. And then I love all the features on the front. The fits in your wallet, single use, pre-charged, 8-year shelf life, recyclable, like all of those are great. And Greg, I'm with you. I love the instructions on the back. And I'm with you. I always love a QR code. The only thing I would say, because this is my little hang up on QR codes, is tell somebody where they're going when they scan that QR code. We're much more used to the QR codes now, but give somebody a reason to use the QR code, whether it's like buy more, restock, 10% discount when you buy 20 for your family, whatever that is. The other thing that I would see if you can either get on the package, or if you're going to ship this in a display to the store, is that inspiration on how to use. And this actually would be great to do, like to do a corrugate display countertopper, is because Greg, you just outlined all those use cases, right? Like keep one in your car, keep one in your backpack, keep one in your bag, keep one in your camp kit. Something like that. When somebody looks at this and they go, oh, this is a really great idea, but I don't know where I would use this. Like that's typically what'll happen in that like impulse shop in store. So just telling somebody really quickly, like, hey, these are like 4 places you need to keep these, that will push somebody over the edge to make the purchase, which would be really great. So Greg, I'm with you. Overall, really great packaging. Those are just a couple ideas that I would incorporate to like level it up.
Level it up. Yeah, Sam from Batterix is actually in the chat. He's watching on LinkedIn. So Sam, just any follow-up questions or anything that you have on that would be great. Just so Kelly, you know, it's about a 20-second or so delay. So when I say like ask your questions, they don't hear us for like 20 seconds. So we have to kill time in between when I ask the questions. I love this. And I'm assuming, Sam, that you're using the same packaging both for retail. You know, this is set up for retail packaging with the Kelly probably has an official word for what this is, but where this goes onto the shelf.
Hang hole.
Yeah, the hang hole. There we go. Where it goes onto the hang hole. So you're using this both for retail and for D2C, which obviously makes sense. You don't want to have, potentially separate packaging. The one thing I was going to add in the feedback is, so this is obviously Kelly and I just got a single, right? And I also have a 10-pack as well. This ride along card, which I think is great because it shows like what is Batterix. I think it also has the QR code for how to use. What I think there's an opportunity here for, I'm a salesperson, right? I get feedback all the time. They're like, Greg, you're so salesy. I'm like, well, you got to sell things. Like that's how we pay the bills, right? I think there's an opportunity for a reorder. And potentially a coupon on the ride along. I think like, need more, order now and save 10% on your next purchase, or order now before the next emergency, or, whatever that copy is. But I think this side, again, look, there's nothing wrong with saying thank you for your purchase, but I think this is almost like a waste of space. Like you can say, thank you for your purchase, need more, use coupon code Batterix 10 to save 10% on your next order. So I think that to me is an opportunity again to up level. And, again, I think that it increases your lifetime value. Even if you only get 5%, 10% of people reordering, that was a reorder that happened with you're already paying for this, right? You already printed it, you already stuck it in. So now there's no cost of acquisition, and that's going to just make you more profitable on the back end.
That's also a great place, Greg, to put what I was talking about with like where to keep them. So like, do you have one for each of these 5 emergency places? Reorder now, because that reinforces that message as well.
Yeah, love that. Ruth, how can we know what it is? This is the Batterix. So this was the first product that we're going over today. It's Batterix. You can search for this on Grommet, Battarix. It is a single-use charger. So think of like in an emergency situation. Big fan of these guys, big fan of the product. And Kelly just shared some really, really big upgrades or power-ups. We got to call them power-ups. That was the name of the show today. Power-ups for Batterix. So Sam, thank you so much for being brave, sending this in. And again, I think you're doing a great job. Just some ways that you can continue to power up. Right?
Yeah, this is fantastic. I'm probably going to go order a 10-pack.
I love it. All right. I did the first one. Do you want to pick the second one?
Yes. Let's go with that CW dressings.
Ooh, love. Again, my problem is I'm biased. I love this product. I think the hot sauce it's literally my favorite hot sauce.
Is it?
You're gonna be addicted now.
I haven't tried it yet because I just got it, but we're a big hot sauce household.
Yeah, it's date-based hot sauce, and I think it's a date-based vinaigrette that's in here as well, and so good. So again, you've unboxed it. I have it in the box. This is how it came in the mail. I do like the fragile liquid sticker. Obviously, that's great for on the shipping side. When I first opened it up, there was a piece of paper around this, but I took it out. There are some stickers. One thing that's and we haven't talked about the outer packaging at all yet, but I think there's an opportunity here to maybe place one of these stickers or something else on the outside of the box, so you know who it's coming from. It gets a little bit of branding, all of that good stuff. I'm a big fan of even like customized like packing tape, stuff like that, like something that adds branding. So this came on the outside, and then it's packaged very nicely. Obviously, these are glass bottles, right? So there's a huge risk every time that Chris sends these out in the mail that they could break. Someone's going to open it and they're going to get vinaigrette all over themselves. So you want to make sure that this is safely packaged. They did a great job with the packing peanuts and the way that it's packaged. And then Kelly, you have yours out, so I'll let you kind of go into the next. But that's kind of that's setting the stage here for the CW dressings.
Yes. So we've got both the date balsamic vinaigrette, and then we have the sweet date hot sauce. So they're both in glass bottles. First thing I noticed is the choice of glass bottle. I think particular packaging containers can tell you so much. So you've got this smaller squatter bottle for the hot sauce. You've got the bigger bottle for the dressing. Because these are 2 different size and shape bottles for 2 different products. There's going to be reduced chance of somebody picking up the hot sauce thinking they picked up the dressing, and vice versa. So really great choice with the vessels. Also, glass bottle always feels more premium, more artisan, more small batch, like somebody put it together themselves and that they really care, than a plastic bottle. So love that as well. And then we've got labels on both. And these are Black Label with some gold foil or printed foil on both, which again feels super premium. So love how like sleek, I'll just maybe hold up one for right now. Love how sleek this looks. Looks really intentional with the Black Label and the black lid. And then we turn it around. We've got a little bit of story about the product itself. And we've got like your standard nutrition facts and ingredients. Also really nice. I think I like the color coding that's going on. I like that there's a strong graphic here. There's a strong statement of what the product is as well. And so it feels like a very premium product. So I love all of those things about it. Like, we're attracting attention, we're using a really great package format, and we're really communicating a perceived quality with all the choices that are made here. Let's get into a couple power up options. The first question that I had when I got the product, and again, I'm not as familiar with these products as Greg is. So my first question is, why dates? Why dates for dressing and why dates for hot sauce? Now, as somebody who tries to eat clean and healthy, I have a preconceived idea that it's a natural sweetener, and that because it's a natural sweetener, it is healthier for me, no added sugar, that type of thing. I would love to see some sort of tagline or message come to the front of the package around that. And, it typically could be like, I feel like a tagline would work really well, particularly since it seems like that is the differentiator for the brand as a whole, is that the products are made with dates as a natural sweetener as opposed to processed sugar. So I would probably brainstorm some ideas for a very short tagline that can be used on the front of the package. I'm just thinking, like, last week I had some, date snacks at my house. My husband and I like to talk about how they're nature's candy. So there might be something around like nature's natural sweetener or naturally sweetened, or no added sugar. Even a statement like that on the front of the package is going to convey a little bit of that benefit and why to buy. Now, you have a food product, so a lot of the why to buy is around the flavor itself. And, you're communicating that with the hot sauce, the balsamic vinaigrette, by telling me what it is. But I think just adding something in addition to that about why dates, either why they're healthier or why they're a better alternative, and keeping it super short would go a long way to helping to sell these products for you when you're not there to talk about them, or if they're not selling on the website. Like, as you're starting to get, I'm sure you're looking to get into some of those artisan grocery stores, those smaller boutique gift stores, getting that information on that front of label will just help people to, as they're attracted to this label and pick it up, get a really quick understanding of like why they're really going to love it. But overall, I think these are really strong.
Yeah, I like that a lot. In the chat, I'd love to hear what you guys think about the CW dressings. I pulled up some of the photos from Grommet so you guys can see them a little closer up front. I wanted to ask you a couple follow-up questions that might be helpful for those folks listening. Is one, I agree. I like the kind of the black background. It gives it that little bit of a luxury feel. But does that help, hurt, indifferent from like retail shelves? Like, is it harder to see? Is it harder to read if you're just scanning across the aisle? Look, like there's no shortage of dressings and hot sauces and barbecue sauces in retail stores, right? In a grocery chain today. So I had these two pictures. I meant to use them in the promo for this, of like somebody showing like the canned soda section, because now you have like your Ollipops and your like all these other, but they all look exactly the same, right? And it's really hard to stand out on the shelves. And so anyway, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, maybe how Chris should be thinking about that if he is looking to go to retail, but even just for anyone listening who might be thinking about retail, how does that play into the mix? How should we even be thinking about that?
That's a great question. And I totally think you should be thinking about it, because whether you are going to be, whether your package is going to be showing up on shelf in a store or in that main image on Amazon or some other, Mindy has a great question. And I also have that question, is how hot is the hot sauce? And that is another thing, particularly when it comes to hot sauce, that we need to have some sort of qualifier. So thank you for bringing that up, Mindy. That was one of the points that I forgot about, that like somebody always wants to know like what that is. Now I'm reading it and I'm seeing Sweet Date hot sauce. So I'm assuming this is a sweet hot. But sometimes brands do like the hottest of the hot, or they do like a heat level, whether it's like 1 through 3. And even if CW dressing, even if you don't have like 3 different levels, telling somebody that this is like hot or mild, it can be super helpful to helping somebody decide to purchase. But I just got on a little tangent. We were supposed to talk about this Black Label and standing out. Greg, my answer is really, it depends. It depends on who else the competition is. So if you're looking to get into, say, more of like a Whole Foods level of store, I would look at who's on Whole Foods shelves, versus if you're looking to sell to some independent gift shops, look at more of the brands that are in that market. So you want to look at your competitors that are within the same market tier, and what is everybody else doing? If 80% of those brands are in a Black Label like this, then I would say maybe we want to think about shifting that. If 80% of the brands in that space are on a White Label, well, then this Black Label is going to stand out. When it comes to doing a Black Label on anything, contrast is super important. So like where it says Sweet Date right there, that's super easy to see. The hot sauce is a little bit more difficult to see because it's the red on black, and my lighting is not super great in here because I didn't want you guys to have some halo effect going on. But you can see it's coming up really great in the photography. So you just want to kind of keep an eye on that. If you're seeing that like the contrast isn't great between the colors, what you can always do is you can always increase the boldness of the text or how big it is. So if something is not like super high contrast, if it's kind of medium contrast, like that hot sauce, you can always make it a little bit bigger to get that done. So that's kind of where I would go there. The other thing is like, there's still room, and I'm not a designer that's like, let's fill every space. You want to have some breathing room, because breathing room is what allows your eye to see certain things. But there is some space here to work with, because it's a very vertical design with, more width going on. And, you might consider looking at, kind of how that space is taken up, because like I just said, getting some things a little bit bigger when there's a little less contrast will help them to pop a bit more.
Love that. Last thing that I'm going to jump in with, there was also this card that came in the packaging. And so I am going to focus on this side because I like this side. It's so hard to see sometimes. My camera doesn't like to focus on what it's supposed to focus on. Let me see if I can go full screen. But it is essentially, it's a review card, right? And so it's like, hey, shop. Actually, it's a shop online. CW Dressings, Amazon.com, Walmart.com, and then there's a QR code to leave a review. And so I like this. Again, very similar to what I was saying with Batterix, is like, if you're going to send a ride along, what's the point or the purpose of it? Yes, sometimes it's reorder. Sometimes it's leave a review. And then sometimes it's product enhancement. So I think, in this case, and I don't know what this QR code does on the other side. I didn't go to it. with all the pictures. But I think in your case, like Chris, like recipes make sense. Like here's 10 really cool recipes you can make with our hot sauce or with our vinaigrette. And then, our hot sauce pairs very well with our vinaigrette, right? So like getting them to buy the other products in the line. But I do like the call out for reviews, right? Especially as a younger new brand, getting reviews is so important. Again, just Kelly, just any thoughts on the ride along? I have no problem with like the business card size. Like this totally works. It's something that's really cool. But again, if we're paying for it, right, we paid to print these and we put them in the box and somebody had to stuff it in the box. We want to make them the most of it.
Yes. So I agree with you. I don't mind the size. I like the card. I would say, do you need to point them to all of these 3 places? Is it better just to point them to your website to shop online and then get that sale directly? Or if it's helping you that they're buying on Amazon or Walmart, great. And then the Google review, also great. The only thing you want to watch is this may not work as like the card to send along with Amazon because you're sending them other places. So just like if you're sending this with all of your online orders, you might just want to take a look at that. I actually am like a fan of the Instagram image and like being able to get that inspiration there. I agree with Greg on the QR code. Like, where does it go? Does it go to your Instagram? I'm not really sure. But yeah, I think this is, and I love asking people for reviews. I think that's like one of the best, it's a great use of the insert card. And always know that like you can also incentivize reviews. Like if you wanted to make this just about reviews, your card only points. Chris says his new cards only point to the website. Jeff Bezos already has enough money.
I love that. I would agree. Yeah. And I agree. Unless your primary source is Amazon, right? Sending them direct to your website, you're going to keep 100% of the revenue. You don't have to give the, Amazon their cut. And obviously you want that relationship with the customer. But again, I think there's a time and a place where you might want to send to Amazon or to Walmart if you're trying to increase sales there, if you're trying to increase, or like, there's a time and a place for all of that. So Chris, thank you so much, man. I think you're doing a great job. I'm one of your biggest fans, and I appreciate you always being a big part of what we do here at Grommet. And I hope a lot of people buy your hot sauce and your dressing in Q4 for their big holiday parties, because I think they're going to love it. So, all right, let's jump into the third one. We got 2 more for you guys. And again, if you have questions about your own packaging as Kelly or I share something, please jump into the chat. We want this to be interactive. So make sure that you're jumping into the chat, you're replying, you're adding comments. Like Mindy, loved your question. Thanks so much. We want this to be about you guys as we go here today. So make sure that you're jumping in there as well. All right, this next one is a product that's actually in the Grommet queue, the queue to launch. They should be launching sometime in September or early October. And so really excited about that. Always love new products in the mix. This one is from Meridi, and I'm going to totally screw that up, but I think that's also part of it, right? And so it's a really small, really cute little box here. Again, came in kind of a flat pack USPS, very economical for shipping something like this, very small, but also with how small it is, we have to take advantage of all the space that we have both inside and outside. And so, Kelly, I'm going to turn it over to you to get kind of your first impressions, what you think of this. And again, kind of we have the front of the box here, but I'm upside down. And then we have a little bit of text here. And then we basically just have a huge MSRP code, like little barcode on the back, taking up a lot of space. And then we have a lot of blank space on the brown. And then we open the product up as well. So Kelly, I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you think of this packaging and how could we set this up? Mirrored is actually, love that. All right, cool. Here we go.
Okay. So we've got the Merida, Merida. Let's go with Merida shower curtain keeper. Now, this one, like Greg said, it's a smaller package. We've got, a sticker that's covering 3 panels. And then we've got the product on the inside. We've actually got a card on the inside. On one side, it says scan for installation with a QR code, which is strong. And then we've got a thank you on the back. What I will say is receiving this product without any context, I was not sure what the product was. So I understand it's a very small product. When I open it up, I think I get a sense for what it is. They're kind of like magnets. It looks like maybe what I can do is I can use it to hold my shower curtain down, which is very, very useful. Yes. Okay. We can magnet it to that and then attach it. Great. So what I would do, since this is I know it's being sold online and you're shipping it, so you're trying to keep things as small as possible. But what I would consider is packaging it differently. That's the first thing that I would do. Because one of the things, particularly when you have a boxed product, I like to try and get you the most amount of real estate to get your messaging on. If you're ever going to move into retail, but also if somebody orders this product and say they really love it, and then they go to give it as a gift. And we heard that a little bit at the top of the live where Greg says he's gotten that feedback from shoppers. They go to order something and they want to give it as a gift. And, so you want somebody who gets the product, who may not know what it is, to be able to understand exactly what it is. And so in this case, what I would actually do is I'd actually make this a wide and flat package where you line up these keepers flat so that now I've got a wide shape. It would not be a deep box. It would not be a square box, but you'd wind up with some real estate that is more like this, more like a longer business card as opposed to this little square. And what that would allow you to do is have one side of the package that has your branding, some product messaging on it, and perhaps a little bit of an image that shows and tells what the product is. I don't think you need to overload it with messaging, but I do think that getting those 3 key elements on a front of package could be really helpful. The other thing is, I know you're selling online, you're selling on your own website. If you go to sell on Amazon, on Amazon is so interesting because you've got that main image and that's what somebody's going to look at to click into your listing. And you can't add any extra graphics to that main image to add context or tell somebody what your product is, but you can include your packaging. You can include a render of your packaging or a photo of your packaging. So having a front of package that tells somebody what the shows and tells somebody what the product is benefits you not just in retail, but on those sites like Amazon. So that's the first thing I would do is I would change the shape of the package so that you have a bigger front panel. And I'd include the logo and the product name. And what I would try to do is I try to brainstorm, like, what is your one key why to buy benefit? Is it that somebody's shower curtain liner stays fresher longer or lasts longer? Is it that it's going to keep water off of the floor? What's the thing that customers say to you, like, this is so great, this product is so great, I love it? Or what is the thing that made you want to develop this product and get that why to buy on the front of package? And then if you can, move to a fully printed box. If you're doing lower quantities, and I am making the assumption that you might be doing lower quantities because you're stickering a box. There are some great online printers like Uprinting where you can do a fully printed box. You can order a lower quantity and get something that will work for where you're at without a whole lot of development costs. So those would be my Power Up recommendations for this one.
Yeah. So I'm pretty spot on, very similar. I agree. So I was playing around on the website. I was showing it off a little bit because I think adding more context to the packaging, especially if you're giving it as a gift, if someone gets it, look, we all order things and I'm guilty. My wife's guilty. And we're just like, what did we order? What did we, I forgot I even ordered this. So making sure that it's very clear and abundant what it is. I love the idea. And you've said this for all 3 products now, is what is the core benefit of this product, right? We said it with Batterix. It's like single use power when you need it most, right? It was with CW dressings, the sugarless, the sugarless hot sauce that lights up your recipes. Like, again, whatever, you guys can get more creative and tagline with that. But with this one, it's, right on the website, it says the simple yet genius way to keep your shower curtain closed and tight to the wall, preventing water from splashing out and making your bathroom a mess, right? So it's like, where's that, right? And I think having that right on the box of just like, never have water on your floor after a shower again, or some version of that. The other thing I love that you said, like, let's go wide, right? Let's have the 4 out. That's going to make it really flat to ship. It's going to make it very inexpensive to ship. You can use like a bubble mailer or something like that is really quick. Just slide it right in, but then it's going to give you so much more space for images, for text. I think the thing with Batterix, with their packaging, not that you have to get this crazy, but like, again, these quick little benefits, right? These little bullet points of just like, no more water, easily snaps on, easy to clean, like whatever those 3-4 big benefits are. Using that, I think, is key. I will say, the salesman in me likes this little card, right? As a special thank you, you get 20% off, right? So the salesman in me loves this. And then I also love the QR code to the instructions because it should be simple, but you can't like assume that somebody who buys your product is going to know what to do with it. The number one reason we hear returns at Grommet, and there's plenty of reasons why people will return it, is that they get it and they don't know how to use it. Hey, I got this and I don't know how to turn it on. You're like, well, hey, silly man, there's like a power button right on the front, but like you can't assume that they're going to see what you want them to see. So yes, I know with yours, there's adhesive on one side, but like you can't assume, well, where does the adhesive go? Like, does it go on the shower or does it go on the wall? Like, so I love having the instructions there. I think that's super simple.
I do too. Like, QR code to instructions is so easy because it makes it so easy for you to update your instructions if you need to. If you find that people are asking questions and you need to add a video, you just add the video to the webpage. Okay, Megan is asking, what is the name of the printing website? It is uprinting, letter U, printing.com. So that's one of the top like low quantity printers I recommend.
Love that. Yeah, I think a lot of people have this, and I've had this too, of just like, man, do I have to order 1,000 boxes, or do I need to like? I think there's so many out there, like Uprinting. They have really bad TV commercials, so you got to take that aside. But Sticker Mule is who I use for like. I use that for like all of my packing tape, all of my like packing accessories, the like crinkle paper, and super low quantities. Like I can just order 100 sheets of paper. The packing tape is like one roll is like $8 or something, like very inexpensive. So anyway, I know there's so many resources out there, Megan, that you can look into, which I think is awesome. Cool. All right. So keep submitting your questions. I see we do have one question. Ron, I'm going to get to yours in just a second. We have one final breakdown, and then we're just going to open up the floor for the last couple minutes that we have here. This is our disclaimer of the day, is that you actually helped out with this packaging.
I did.
And they still wanted to submit it and say, how can we make it better, right? Which is awesome. This is the Gray Muse. When we launched them on Grommet, they were one of the most popular products that we launched that week during launch week. Big fans. I think they're going to do great in Q4. I love this size mailer. It is so cute. It's USPS friendly, inexpensive to mail, fits right in the mailbox. You don't have to do the oversize. I would think I was telling Chris, I love how just the use, it's on this side. I don't know how to ever use my hands on these. But the sticker right on the outside of the packaging, it's something so simple, but it gives it that handmade touch, that crafted touch. And also I'm like, oh, cool, my Gray Muse package is here, right? And I said this in one of the emails promoting this, is like every product I've ever created in my life, when someone gets it, I want them to feel like Christmas morning. I want them to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to rip this open. And then I get the stickers, and then I get the insert, and then I have the packaging paper, and then I have the thank you note. And then and all of a sudden there's like 12 things that they just unwrapped, and it feels like a birthday present. And it's just like, no, I just ordered this, this package online. So anyway, I think they've done a great job here. And I know, again, you've worked on this one, so you can kind of share some of the inside secrets and tips. But again, love this mailer, love this box. Great little paper that we have here to open it up. And again, like Christmas morning, right? You need wrapping paper, right? So you have this. Now this is on the floor. Now I have a really, really cute sticker. It says, brave enough to be bad at something new, which is what we all are today, right? Like you guys are all brave to send in your products and have Kelly and I talk about them. A really cute insert card here. And I love this on the back, which I'm sure you'll talk about all about this guy here, which is super cool. And then this packaging is just I mean, you did a great job, right?
Yes,
So
thank you.
I'm going to turn it over to you and let you break this one down. But I'm just a huge fan. I think that just everything this brand does is just gorgeous. It's thoughtful. It's thought through, and it shows because they had, I know when they launched, she sent an email out to her list and immediately like hundreds of people wanted to support her. And it's because I think the product's great, but the way the product makes people feel is even better. So kudos to you, but also to the team at Grey Muse because they did a great job too.
So Rubina, the owner of Grey Muse, she does an amazing job with her line and her product. And Greg, you're right. Like she does such a great job at being thoughtful. So Rubina worked with, I believe it was Docs Design, to do her brand identity that's on all of these pieces. And then these boxes, these are the boxes that I worked on with Rubina for her color wheel interactive enamel keychain. And this one was so fun and interesting to work on from the perspective of, so Rubina designed this keychain, and I have one. Let me grab the actual keychain so I don't have to open these boxes. But it is an enamel spinner keychain. So it's like that color wheel that we learn in art school, like what colors make what colors. And so she created this interactive enamel keychain. It is beautiful. It makes a great gift. And she did so well with it that she started having lots of copycats. But she has this product sold in lots of different stores across the country, a lot of like museum shops and things. And that's when she was like, I need to upgrade the packaging to have it feel more giftable and kind of more ownable, because she did make the original of this product. So we designed a custom box with this window and an insert that actually holds the keychain in there, so that when this is on shelf, when it is in a little shop, they can see this keychain design. And, you know, Greg, I think it's really interesting that you called out that I've been mentioning that everybody should be showing off, talking about the key benefit and why to buy of the product. And the key benefit of this product is the design of it. Yes, it's going to hold my keys, but you can buy so many other things that hold your keys. The key benefit is that you have this interactive color wheel. And if you are an art lover or an artist or a crafter, it's something meaningful to you. And it's going to be something that brings you joy when you grab your keys. So showing off that product itself and then showing off that unique interaction was really important. So we designed this box to have this window to show that. We worked with a packaging supplier to do a custom die line to make sure that the product wasn't going to fall out or get damaged. And that was a little bit of a trial and error. We did have to, Rubina, I think you had to add a little, like a little adhesive to the back of it just to keep it, but it's like nice and sturdy. The box itself elevates the product and makes it feel like a great gift. We're calling out on the front that it is the original. And then we also call out that there is an insert card included that tells you all about color theory and how to use your color wheel. And then there is a little bit of the story about Rubina's creation of the product itself and how your purchase helps support original artists and designers. And then we follow it up with a call to action of how you can follow and interact with the brand. The other nice thing about this window is that Rubina has 2 different colors of this product, and we did not have to do 2 different variations of the package. It's one package variation, and then the window shows the 2 different colors, which makes it really easy for people to shop. So, and because Rubina had some great branding done, everything looks cohesive when you put it together, even though she's worked with a couple different people to design all of the pieces. So that's just how that branding and that first impression comes together. So this one was super fun.
I could imagine. I love this one. Candy says, I love the kind of packaging that gives me goosebumps when I'm opening it. This is that kind of packaging.
Mhm.
And again, these are like inexpensive items. I know the item that
Mhm.
they were selling on Grommet, they were just like the floral pins. They were like $10. I'm assuming this is a pretty inexpensive item too. And so every dollar, every penny in these products, it counts, right? So
Mhm.
when you're putting in that sticker, when you're putting in that card, like this is additional cost, right?
Mhm.
That cuts away from your profits. But if it's done with intention, if it's done with purpose, if there's a purpose for it, these are actually huge brand enhancers, because I imagine this sticker is on a ton of people's computers, or water bottles or cars and all kinds of places, which is additional branding. This card, I'm sure, gets a lot of play. A lot of people are probably hitting that QR code up. And so
Mhm.
I think that, again, this brand, it makes people feel good. Like that's
Yeah.
when do we take out the phone to like do an unboxing? When the packaging's pretty,
Mhm.
right? Or
Yeah.
when it's so crappy that we want to do a bad review, right? But if it's just like in the middle, if it's just vanilla, if it's just like every other packaging out there, there's no reason for someone to do an unboxing and an unveiling, take those additional photos, look what I just got in the mail. This product makes people feel special. And when you do that, that does some of the marketing for you. So
Yeah.
I love that. You did a great job
Totally.
with that. And Rabina, yeah, she has such an incredible brand and such a passionate fan
Mhm.
base over there.
And she's, I think to your point, she's done a really great job of building community with her customers. To your point, adding a sticker that somebody wants to put on their water bottle or on their laptop that they didn't order, like that's just a great surprise and delight to somebody that's purchased your product. But then it also reinforces the brand every time they see this sticker on their water bottle or computer. And then by like interacting with her fan base, continuing to communicate about these things. It's just, it all kind of builds on itself.
Yeah, and again, like going into Q4, the salesman in me says, like, if I have a great experience with the product, as I'm looking to get a gift for people in Q4, what are the products that I'm going to go gift to people? It's the products that make me feel good, right? Because it's going to make someone else feel good if I gift that. And so I'm sure she has a ton of her customers are gifting it to their friends and their social groups. And so important. So
Mhm.
we got a couple questions that came in that I want to hit, because I want to get done on the top of the hour, get you guys back to your day jobs. Rana is from Lunescent, and I pulled up her site. I'm going to share it in just a second. But they are just getting ready. They've just changed manufacturers from Taiwan to China, and it's a great time to look at packaging.
Mhm.
Two-part question. One is, I'm just going to show you the product really quick, Kelly, and just kind of
Okay.
initial thoughts of what we can do with it. And then the second, I was going to ask you anyway, is how do people get in touch with you? How do they book consultations and all that fun stuff? So first, I'm going to pull up this product. Give me 1 second. Boom, there we go. So this is the touch-free skincare applicator. And so just kind of first impressions, obviously it's a skincare product, it's a beauty product, at $50. It's not quite inexpensive, but it's not quite premium. It's kind of in that mid space. They have different colors, and I'll click through here. The sky, you have the gold. This looks like on the grip part of the item, and the lilac.
Yeah.
It's a really, really nice product. We did this on Grommet Live a few weeks ago. It feels luxury. Like it's weighted. It's not chintzy. It's not plastic. It is a very, very nice item. So anyway, that's a little bit of context. I know you're like, I don't even know what this product is or what it does or what it is, but that's kind of the initial what I'll give you, and just kind of your 2 cents on things that she should be thinking about at this stage.
I love that product. I love the idea of this product. I think it, from a design standpoint, it has a really beautiful form function to it. In terms of a package, if you're looking to go into retail, I would probably have it in a
Here's a little
box.
bit of the packaging too. I know I'm
Oh,
cutting you
oh,
off.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, if you're in a box like that, if you're looking to go into retail, I'd probably add like a paper wrap band around the outside with a photo on it. This is one that's, being a new to market idea in terms of being a skincare applicator. You may need to include some sort of in use photo just to bridge the gap of what it is, because otherwise your target market is going to look at it and say, like, that looks like a weird razor. I know it's not a razor from what you described it, but that style of handle may
Right.
may be there. But with it being a higher end product, you just want it to be like a really beautiful photo. Um, I'd probably do something that's a little bit more like blocked out, no background for that package. Oh, I like that. Yes. So if that's like your front of package, I would potentially look at adding some messaging to that front of package. I like that there's a window where you can see the product and see the color. I like that you have some graphic and pattern, but I do think that like you need that message about this being touch-free skincare applicator. And then you also need to speak to what that benefit is. Now, I have an idea of what the benefit is uh, in that, like, all of that skincare, all of that expensive skincare is going on your face instead of in your hands. And so you need to have some way to get that benefit across really fast on the front of package so that somebody immediately sees the value in this product.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting. We did like a landing page review last week, and it was funny. Like every single page was like the same advice, right? And then every single on the packaging, it's been almost every single one is like the same thing. Is like, hey, like get that USP right on the front. If someone's just seeing your product for the first time, what does it do? Like, how do we get people to use the product as quickly as possible? So it's interesting. It's like it is the same things over and over and
Mhm.
over again. And I think the cool thing here is like this isn't a full package redesign, new
Yeah.
box, new packaging. I think this is a messaging play.
Yeah.
And Rana says that is on the back. But I do think, especially for retail, you're going to want that on the front, right? Like, what
Mhm.
is this? What does it do? What's the big benefit? What are the three little bullet points? And you have room on the packaging, as you can see here, where that flower is. There's plenty of room right there in the design to add that on there, where it's just like really quick hits. Like if I'm just scanning and that impulse buy, or I'm looking for something, this just hits that. And I think yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that one. But the product is beautiful. The packaging, the branding, I think you've done a great job. I
Yeah.
think it's a messaging play almost more than
It's
anything else.
it is a messaging play, and I do think that that is a lot of what it comes down to for new brands with packaging or new innovative products with packaging is getting that messaging dialed in. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's a tweak, sometimes it's an evolution, sometimes you try a couple different things back to back every time that you reorder just to continue improving it until you hit that sweet spot.
Love that. We got one more question from Candy. Candy, I'm going to get to you in just a second, but Kelly, I'd love for you to just share a little bit about what it is that you do, maybe how people can get in touch with you. I pulled up your website, so I'm going to have that playing while we talk here. But yeah, tell everybody a little bit about Hidden Path Creative, what you do, and maybe how you can help some of these grommet brands to power up their packaging.
Perfect. So, Hidden Path Creative is my design studio. I work directly with product business founders and owners to design brand identities, packaging, and website infographics to help sell your products. I've got a couple different ways we can work together. If you're interested in talking about your package design, you can go over to the website, hit that contact me button up at the top, and set up a consultation. Also, if you're interested in getting um, your own custom packaging audit, kind of like we did right here, but like with a video you can keep and not live on the internet. Under services, there is a packaging audit. If you use the code START here, all one word, you'll get $100 off that audit. And it's super easy. You purchase the audit, you fill out a form, send me a couple of photos, and within 5 business days, I send you back a personalized audit of the things that you can do to improve your package design, potentially improve your messaging. And I go through all of the things that we went through here, including, container messaging, how to attract attention, how to brag about your benefits, all of those great things. But that's a lot of times where we start is coming up with that audit and strategy.
I love that. The last one, only because like Q4 is literally like, I feel like
Yes.
it's like tomorrow. You have a really cool service. I love this. I've shared it in the newsletter before,
Mhm.
called Packaging Pronto.
Yes.
And because of where we are in the year, I'd be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about that, but this is like, get new packaging tomorrow.
Yes.
So
So
tell us a little bit about that one.
So Packaging Pronto, that has to be my most popular service since I launched it last year. And Packaging Pronto is a 1-day packaging design creation session. So We book a day just to work on your packaging. A few days before, we have a strategy meeting. We go through the information about your product. We make sure we have everything, including the die lines, your brand identity, and all of your product information. And then the day of, I get down to business. I work on just your packaging. Midday, you get a first look. By the end of the day, you have an approved package design concept. We can do between 1 and 3 package designs in one day, depending upon the complexity of the packaging and what type of product and package it is. And then within 5 business days, I send you the print ready files. So, I mean, it's a service where you can have packaging design in as little as 2 weeks, which, to your point, being this time of year, like needing to get on it fast, it's really super helpful. And it's really best for brands that do already have brand identity design, but really need some a new package design, a new product package design, or something, special for the holidays to get it done.
Yeah, I love that. Hiddenpathcreative.com is the website. Hiddenpathcreative.com is where you can go to learn more about all of those different services, from the audit to the packaging pronto, or more full-blown customized services with Kelly. They've been a blast to work with. She's done a lot of work for us here at Grommet. Obviously, she's done a lot of work with Grommet brands. And so we love everything that she does. And so I think this is something awesome for you guys. A great resource for you guys. Hiddenpathcreative.com. I've got just like 2 more questions that came in. If you guys have to bail, totally understand. But I want to get to Candy because we talk about retail. One of the elements with retail, obviously, is UPC codes, barcodes, things like that. Obviously, that eats up some of the packaging and spacing. And so her question is, if someone is trying to get into retail, do we do that now? Like, do we plan ahead? Is this something that we can add on later? I know I've done this in the past, and like let's call it the ghetto way of like buying stickers and being like, oh crap, and like I had to buy stickers and put them onto products to get them into retail. But for future planning, right? Maybe all we can afford right now is to do 1,000 units, and we're mostly D2C. But what happens if a store picks us up? It's that what if question, right?
So this is a really great question, and I wish there was a more straightforward answer to it, but I'm going to walk you through my thought process around, when I would do this, when I would not. If, let's say, you're just starting out, you're in that 1,000 unit, you might be selling D2C, and maybe you're getting on Faire and getting into some of those smaller boutiques and stores. You do not need to invest in a UPC barcode right now. A lot of those smaller independently owned stores are going to sticker your product themselves. They may not necessarily use barcodes. So you're good without a barcode at that level. Once you start looking at getting into regional chains and anything above that, that's when you're going to want a barcode. And at that point, you're going to be looking at much higher quantities anyway. So, that's really something that, that's kind of like your next level. But to just get the foot in the door with retail, you don't need a UPC barcode. Now, I want to share something else with you that I learned from a colleague a couple months ago. So I do some work with Jen at How She Scales, and she does consulting for businesses that are starting to launch their products on Amazon. And so let's say you're selling D2C on your own website, and you might be thinking about getting on Amazon and you're not sure about the barcodes. Instead of investing in a GS1 universal barcode, you would be better off using an FN-SKU Amazon only barcode, because it would help you to identify your inventory, and by using that FN-SKU barcode, other people are not going to be able to sell your products in competition with you on Amazon. Like, you will be the sole provider of your product on Amazon. So if you're still starting out and you're like D2C and just Amazon and like thinking about retail, but that's farther off, you'd be better off doing that FN-SKU barcode than the universal GS1 barcode. But if you are at like selling in small retailers now, and your next step is those regional retailers, and you're going to be looking at higher quantities at that point anyway, that's when you want to get your real GS1 barcodes. And And also you want to buy the real barcode. You don't want to buy a reused barcode. Some people do that to save money. That will just be a challenge for you when you do get into those regional and national chains, because other people have used those barcodes before and it can mess stuff up.
Love that. Great advice. Amazing stuff. Hiddenpathcreative.com is where you can go to learn more about all of Kelly's services, her packages. Can't recommend Packaging Pronto anymore for a lot of you guys as we get into Q4. This was a blast. Thanks so much for doing this. This was fun.
Oh, thanks, Greg. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I always love seeing people's new products and learning about them and learning how to use them. So appreciate everybody that sent in their products. And thank you, Greg, for having me. This was so much fun.
Love it. Hiddenpathcreative.com, again, where you can find Kelly. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, watching today. And we will see you guys in the next Grommet Live training. I think we're doing one in 2 weeks on Q4 BFCM, all the good Black Friday, Cyber Monday prep that you guys need to get ready for. So look out for that one. And then if you want to buy really cool products tonight, Grommet Live with myself, Marcy McKenna, we'll be, we got like 7 really cool ones tonight. So